I repaired the alien queen's radio. Then she locked the door from inside and said, "Come here." Alex leaned over the strange console, the glow of alien lights reflecting off their glasses. The room hummed softly, almost like it was alive. The walls weren't made of metal or stone. They looked like smooth glass, but with faint patterns of light that moved slowly, as if breathing. He took a deep breath. Another client, another impossible job. But this one was different. This time it wasn't a simple starship repair or a human-made machine gone wrong. It was the alien queen's personal communication device, a radio of sorts that connected her to the distant colonies of her people. Alex had heard the stories. The queen wasn't just any alien. She was a living legend, her wisdom and elegance admired across dozens of star systems. Humans rarely got to meet her, and now here he was asked to fix her broken radio. "Don't touch anything you don't understand," a voice echoed behind him. Alex turned. A small assistant hovered nearby, floating as though carried by air. Its body shimmered in shades of green and purple, translucent like jelly. "She doesn't like surprises," Alex smiled. "That's okay, neither do I." He bent back over the device. At first glance, it looked like a normal console, but that impression vanished as soon as he touched it. The buttons weren't buttons. They were soft nodes that changed shape under his fingers. Wires intertwined with organic tubes, and small pulses of light moved along the tubes like tiny rivers. "What is this made of?" he whispered, more to himself than to the assistant. The assistant tilted its head, blinking slowly. "The Queen's own design," it said simply. "No human has ever touched it before," Alex grinned. "Lucky me." He began the process of repair. First, he traced the wires, or whatever they were. Some were metallic, others seemed almost alive, pulsating in soft rhythms. He realized quickly that this wasn't just a machine, it was part living. Part of the challenge was figuring out which parts responded to logic and which to touch, to rhythm, to intuition. Hours passed. The hum of the ship became comforting, a kind of heartbeat he could sync with. Alex had repaired impossible machines before, but this one was special. It responded to his thought patterns, almost as if it were studying him, testing him. Every time he adjusted a wire, a new light pulsed along the tubes. Every time he moved a panel, a soft chime echoed from somewhere inside the device. And then finally a breakthrough. Alex smiled, holding back a laugh. "Got you." He gently touched a triangular node, and the device blinked once, twice, and then began to glow steadily. A soft vibration ran through the floor. The assistant floated closer, watching quietly. "It's working," it said. "She will be pleased." Alex stepped back, wiping his hands on his pants. He felt a small thrill of pride. He had done it. The impossible repair completed in record time. Just as he was about to leave, he heard the door click behind him. He froze. It wasn't the usual sound of the automatic doors. It was a firm, deliberate click. He turned slowly. The door was locked. He started. A voice, smooth and calm, filled the room. "Come here." Alex swallowed. The voice was soft but carried a weight of authority, a gentle command. He glanced at the assistant. It hovered silently, expressionless. Alex took a deep breath and stepped forward. His curiosity outweighed any fear. He had faced strange machines, malfunctioning starships, and dangerous planets, but never an alien queen who could command attention with a single word. The room beyond the door was astonishing. It was larger than he expected, round and filled with strange flora that glowed in soft colors. The plants didn't just sit there, they floated, twisting gently in the air. Small orbs hovered near the ceiling, showing maps and star systems turning slowly. Holographic images drifted across the walls, showing alien landscapes, creatures, and cities that defied human imagination. The queen herself was seated on a platform that looked like it had grown from the floor. Her form was elegant and regal, with flowing shapes that shimmered like liquid metal. Her eyes were wide, intelligent, and curious. She smiled, not in a human way, but in a way that felt warm and welcoming. "You fixed it," she said simply. "I didn't think anyone could." Alex bowed slightly. It wasn't easy." She gestured to a spot beside her. "Sit, I want to show you something." Alex moved closer, trying not to stare. Everything about this room screamed knowledge and power, but also care and beauty. It was as if the queen had built this space to think, to create, and to communicate, not to dominate. He sat carefully, unsure what to expect. The queen placed a small device on the platform. It looked like another radio, but more intricate, covered in fine details that pulsed like heartbeat patterns. "This device connects me to my people," she explained. "But it stopped working properly. Your repair fixed the connection, yes, but it also opened something new." Alex raised an eyebrow. "Something new?" She nodded. "I have been listening to messages from other colonies, messages I could not understand. Now, with your mind, perhaps we can communicate in ways even I cannot imagine." Alex leaned forward, intrigued. "Wait, you mean you want me to? Help me speak to them," she said simply, her eyes steady on his. "In a way only you can understand." The hum of the room grew slightly louder, as if the ship itself was waiting for his answer. Alex took a deep breath. He had no idea what this meant. It wasn't a repair job anymore. This was something new, something unprecedented, but curiosity had always been stronger than fear. "I'll try," he said finally. The Queen's smile widened. "Good, I had a feeling you would." Alex looked around the room again, at the glowing plants, the floating orbs, and the strange device that seemed alive. He realized this wasn't just a machine. It was a puzzle, a challenge, and a doorway to something extraordinary. For the first time in his life, Alex felt completely alive, completely aware, completely human in a way the Queen seemed to notice. "You are different," she said softly. "Most beings would fear this. You do not." Alex shrugged. "I like puzzles." She tilted her head, studying him. "Then the real test begins, but first, you must understand my people and the language of their minds." Alex nodded. "Then teach me." And with that, the alien Queen leaned back, her eyes glowing faintly. The door behind him clicked once more, sealing them in together, and the hum of the room became louder, almost like a heartbeat syncing with his own. Alex smiled. This was going to be interesting. Alex sat quietly, feeling the hum of the Queen's chamber around him. The glowing plants and floating orbs made him feel like he was inside a dream. Everything here was alive in some way. Even the floor seemed to respond to his steps, softening and gently vibrating as he moved. The Queen observed him silently. Her eyes were like liquid metal, reflecting the colors of the room as if she could see everything at once. "Do you understand why you are here?" she asked softly. Alex hesitated. "To fix the device," he asked. She shook her head. "No, you fixed the device, yes. But that was the easy part. What I need is someone who can see beyond it, someone who can understand patterns in ways that my people cannot." Alex blinked. "Patterns?" "Yes," she said. "My people communicate through ideas, emotions, and symbols. They send messages not with words, but with feelings, colors, and shapes. The device can carry the messages, but no one can fully understand them except someone like you." Alex felt a thrill run through him. This was more than a repair job. This was a puzzle of minds and cultures, and humans were good at that. He smiled. "All right, I'll try." The Queen nodded, pleased. "Good, then come closer. There is something I want to show you." Alex followed her gaze to the center of the chamber. A strange device floated above a small pedestal. Unlike the radio he had repaired, this one was transparent, shaped like a large orb with tiny streams of light flowing inside. It pulsed gently, as if it had a heartbeat. "This is a neural translator," the Queen explained. "It takes messages from one mind and translates them into another. I have tried to use it myself, but I cannot make it understand fully. It requires creativity, intuition, a human mind." Alex stared. "A machine that thinks?" "Not thinks," she corrected. "It interprets. It can only work when someone shows it how, when someone understands differently." Alex's curiosity soared. He had repaired machines that seemed alive before, but nothing like this. This was not just technology, it was a bridge between minds, and the Queen wanted him to cross it. "Where do I start?" he asked. She gestured to a series of holographic images floating around the room. "These are messages from the colonies. They are incomplete, fragmented, but full of meaning. You will have to listen, watch, and feel. Then show the translator how to understand them." Alex took a deep breath. The first hologram appeared in front of him. It was a swirling mass of colors, moving like smoke. Shapes formed and dissolved, leaving impressions of cities, rivers, and skies he could not name. He reached out instinctively, and the colors rippled under his hand. "What is this?" he whispered. "Part of their language," the Queen said. "Do not try to force it into words. Feel it, understand it, respond to it." Alex frowned. "Respond?" "Yes," she said simply. "It is a conversation, but a conversation without sound. You must find meaning in it yourself, then guide the machine." Alex nodded slowly. He focused on the shifting colors. They reminded him of water, of clouds, of flames. He couldn't name them, but he could sense the flow. He tried moving his hand in rhythm with the shapes. Slowly, the orb began to glow, mirroring his movements. Good, the queen said. You are starting to understand. Humans do not always see the same way as others, but that is your strength. You can find connections where none seem to exist. Alex smiled, feeling a spark of pride. So it's like a dance? Yes, she replied. A dance of minds. For hours, Alex experimented. He traced shapes in the air, moved in rhythm with the colors, and watched as the translator orb responded to his every motion. Some messages made him laugh. They were playful, like children exploring their world. Some made him pause. They were complex, filled with emotions he barely recognized. At one point, a swirling message formed the image of a mountain. He reached out, and suddenly the translator projected a human-like version of the mountain in soft blue light. The queen's eyes widened. You see, she said, you have created understanding where none existed before. You are teaching the machine how to interpret life itself. Alex laughed. I guess humans aren't bad at puzzles after all. The queen tilted her head. Not bad at all. But remember, understanding is not enough. You must also teach empathy. The machine will follow logic, but it cannot feel. You must show it how to feel. Alex frowned, thinking, feel like emotions? Yes, feel the joy, the sorrow, the curiosity. Humans experience these things deeply. Use that to guide the translator. He closed his eyes for a moment, imagining the colors and shapes, imagining the stories they wanted to tell. He thought of the alien children playing in floating gardens, of the rivers and skies he had seen in the holograms. Slowly, the translator orb began to respond in more intricate patterns, combining shapes and colors into flowing sequences that seemed almost alive. Hours turned into night, or what passed for night on this starship. Alex did not notice the time. He was completely absorbed, moving with the colors, feeling with the orb, communicating without words. The queen watched quietly, never interrupting, only observing, her face calm but pleased. Finally, he leaned back, exhausted but exhilarated. The orb pulsed steadily, projecting a complete, coherent message from the colonies, a message that no human or alien had ever understood before. Alex's heart raced. I think it worked, the queen smiled. Yes, you have done what no one else could. You have opened a door. Alex laughed softly, rubbing his eyes. I didn't even know I was dancing until I started. That is the gift of humans, she said. You do not see limits, you see possibilities. Alex felt a warmth in his chest. For the first time, he realized how powerful human curiosity and creativity could be, even across the stars, even among beings far older and wiser than him. The queen's smile softened. Rest now, she said. Tomorrow we will begin something new. Something that will test not only your mind, but your understanding of life itself. Alex nodded, feeling a mix of exhaustion and excitement. He lay back on a soft, glowing platform the queen had indicated, watching the floating lights and pulsing colors. The chamber hummed around him like a heartbeat, and for the first time he felt completely at home, far from Earth, far from humans, yet in a place that welcomed curiosity, creativity, and intelligence. As he drifted to sleep, he thought about the day's work. He had repaired the queen's device, yes, but more importantly, he had begun to understand a new kind of communication, a new way to think, a new way to connect. And he knew this was only the beginning. Outside, the stars stretched across the galaxy, silent and infinite. But inside the queen's chamber, Alex had found a bridge of understanding, of connection, and of human ingenuity. And he couldn't wait to see where it would take him next. Alex sat quietly in the queen's chamber, surrounded by a world unlike anything he had ever seen. The walls glowed softly, not with electric light but with moving patterns of color, like sunlight reflected through rippling water. Floating orbs hovered in the air, each displaying miniature landscapes of alien cities, rivers, and forests. The queen's eyes followed him as he looked around. They shimmered like liquid metal, reflecting all the colors of the room. Do you understand why you are here? She asked. Alex shook his head. I thought I was here to fix your device. The queen shook her head slowly. You fixed it, yes, that was simple. What I need now is something more. She gestured to the translator orb floating in the center of the room. This device carries messages from my colonies, but no one can truly understand them. I need someone who can. Alex leaned forward, curiosity sparking inside him. And you think I can? I believe humans see the world in ways others do not, she said. Your mind is not bound by tradition or habit. You can find patterns, connections, possibilities where others see none. Alex swallowed. He had repaired strange machines before, but nothing like this. This wasn't about wires or metal. It was about understanding life itself. The Queen pointed to the orb. This is a neural translator. It can carry thoughts, feelings, even abstract ideas from one mind to another. But it cannot think for itself. It needs guidance. That guidance is you. Alex's stomach tightened. Guidance meaning I have to teach it? Yes, she replied. But not like a teacher teaches math. You must show it how to see, how to feel, how to understand life. Can you do that? Alex laughed nervously. I can try. The Queen's smile widened slightly. Then we begin. The first holographic message appeared in front of him. It was a swirl of colors, moving like smoke caught in a gentle breeze. Shapes formed and dissolved, some like buildings, some like animals he could not name. At first, it made no sense. He could not identify meaning in the chaotic patterns. Do not force it into words, the Queen said softly. Let it speak to you, feel it, respond. Alex closed his eyes and focused. The colors reminded him of water flowing over rocks, of clouds drifting across the sky, of smoke rising from a fire. Slowly, he began to move his hands, tracing shapes in the air. As he did, the translator orb began to glow and mirror his movements. Good, the Queen said. You are beginning to understand. Humans see possibilities where others see limits. Alex nodded slowly. So it's like a dance? Yes, she replied. A dance of minds. And now you must teach it rhythm. He spent hours experimenting. Each hologram carried a message, a story, or an emotion. Some were simple, playful images, like children playing in floating gardens. Others were more complex, showing entire cities, emotional landscapes, and ideas that seemed almost impossible to describe. Alex moved his hands, mimicking shapes, and felt the translator orb respond to him. At one point, a swirling image formed a huge, twisting tree with branches that reached into the sky. Alex traced the branches with his hands, imagining the feelings of growth, connection, and care. Slowly, the orb projected a coherent message, translating the alien images into patterns he could understand. This is incredible, he whispered. The Queen watched quietly. You are using your mind in ways my people cannot. You are creating understanding where there was none. Alex smiled. I guess humans aren't bad at puzzles. The Queen tilted her head. Not bad at all, but understanding alone is not enough. You must teach the machine empathy. Logic will carry information, but only emotion will carry meaning. Alex frowned. Empathy like feelings. Yes, she said. You humans experience emotions deeply. Show the translator how to feel, and it will carry your understanding to my people. Alex closed his eyes, trying to imagine the feelings behind the colors, the shapes, the messages. Some images made him laugh. They were joyful, playful, curious. Others made him pause, images of struggle, loss, and longing. He traced the shapes slowly, moving his hands with care. The orb responded, combining color, shape, and pattern into a flowing sequence that seemed alive. Hours passed. He lost track of time. He laughed when a playful image of alien children mimicking him appeared. He paused when a pattern of a lonely alien mountain village tugged at his heart. He experimented, he danced, he communicated, not with words but with understanding. Finally, a full message came through. The translator orb pulsed with steady light, projecting a complete, coherent story from the colonies. Alex's heart raced. He had done it. You see, the Queen said softly. You have done what no one else could. You have opened a door. Alex laughed quietly. I didn't even know I was dancing until I started. That is the gift of humans, she said. You see possibilities where others see boundaries. Alex felt warmth in his chest. He realized how powerful human creativity, curiosity, and empathy could be. Even in the presence of alien wisdom, humans had a unique strength. The ability to adapt, to explore, to understand. The Queen's smile softened. Rest now, she said. Tomorrow we will begin something new. Something that will challenge not only your mind, but your understanding of life itself. Alex nodded, exhausted but exhilarated. He lay back on a soft platform, glowing faintly, and watched the floating lights. The chamber hummed like a heartbeat, syncing with his own. He felt completely alive, fully human, and yet part of something greater than himself. The night passed in silence, broken only by the soft pulse of the translator orb. When Alex awoke, the chamber had changed subtly. New holograms floated in the air, more intricate, more detailed. The translator orb pulsed with anticipation, as if ready for another dance. The queen approached. Today, you will go deeper. The first messages were only practice. Now you will work with thoughts and emotions you have never seen before. Alex's eyes widened. I don't know if I can. You can, she said firmly. Humans often doubt themselves, but you have already done what others thought impossible. Now trust yourself. The first message appeared. It was a swirl of colors unlike anything Alex had seen. He blinked, studying the patterns. They were chaotic, but there was a rhythm beneath the chaos, a pulse that matched his heartbeat. He moved his hands instinctively, tracing the shapes, feeling the flow. Slowly, the translator orb began to respond. It pulsed in time with his movements, shifting colors and forming patterns that made sense to him. He realized that understanding was not just about observation, it was about connection. He had to connect his mind to the message, to the feeling, to the intent behind it. Hours passed. Each message was harder than the last. Some were abstract, impossible to describe with human words. Others were full of emotion, raw and intense. Alex felt joy, sadness, curiosity, and wonder. He traced the patterns, danced with the colors, and guided the translator to translate meaning. At one point, he leaned back, exhausted. A pattern of swirling lights and shapes formed a landscape of alien mountains and rivers. He traced the shapes slowly, imagining the lives of the beings who had sent it. When the orb pulsed steadily, he realized he had succeeded in translating a complex story, one that no human or alien had understood before. The queen watched silently, her eyes reflecting pride. "You are ready for the next step," she said. "Tomorrow we will begin teaching the translator to understand not just images, but the hearts and minds of my people." Alex nodded, feeling a mix of exhaustion and excitement. He had repaired her device, yes, but he had begun something far more extraordinary. He had begun to understand another species, to communicate without words, to bridge the gap between worlds. And as he lay on the soft platform, watching the lights dance above him, he realized that this was only the beginning. Humanity had always reached for the stars. Now Alex understood that reaching was not enough. Understanding, connecting, and sharing, that was the real journey. And he was ready to take it. Alex woke to the soft glow of the queen's chamber. The floating orbs drifted slowly, and the translator orb pulsed gently, as if aware of his presence. Today would be different, he could feel it. The queen had promised a real challenge, something beyond colors and shapes, a message of minds and hearts. "Good morning, Alex," the queen said, her voice calm but carrying weight. "Are you ready?" Alex nodded, though he wasn't entirely sure what ready meant anymore. The chamber seemed alive, humming with anticipation. He approached the translator orb, which floated silently at the center. The first message appeared. Unlike the previous day's swirling patterns, this one was more complicated. Shapes twisted together, forming images that seemed to shift meaning depending on how he looked at them. Emotions emanated from it, joy, fear, longing, all at once. Alex took a deep breath. "This is not just a puzzle," the queen said. "It is a story. You must feel it, understand it, and guide the translator so my people can hear it." Alex hesitated. He had translated visual patterns before, but this was different. He closed his eyes and focused, imagining the lives of the aliens sending the message. Slowly, he moved his hands, tracing shapes, trying to match the rhythm of their emotions. The translator orb pulsed in response. Colors shifted, forming patterns he could understand. It was working, but the complexity was greater than anything he had faced. Each movement brought new challenges. One wrong motion and the meaning would be lost. Hours passed as he worked, moving his hands, thinking, feeling. The orb began to project a coherent story, an alien community navigating loss and hope, joy and struggle. Alex's heart raced. He was not just translating images anymore, he was connecting with a mind entirely alien to him. "You see the difference?" the queen asked. "Understanding patterns is not enough. You must connect, empathize, and share experience." Alex nodded, exhausted but exhilarated. "I think I get it. I'm part of the story now." "Exactly," she said. "And this is only the beginning." Alex woke to the soft glow of the queen's chamber. The floating orbs drifted lazily around the room, projecting colorful alien cities and landscapes. The translator orb hovered in the center, pulsing steadily as if it had been waiting for him all night. The queen was already there, her eyes reflecting the soft colors of the chamber. "Today," she said, "you will teach my people. Not just the translator, but the ones who will use it. They need to learn how to think as you do." Alex blinked. Teach them, but they are aliens, they think differently, will they even listen? The Queen's smile was gentle. They will if you show them the value of curiosity and creativity. Humans are unpredictable. That is your strength. Use it. Alex took a deep breath. He had never been a teacher before, at least not like this. But he had solved puzzles before, connected with strange machines, and understood patterns no one else could. Perhaps he could teach them too. The first group arrived. They were small, delicate beings with translucent skin and long, flexible limbs. Their eyes were large and luminous, reflecting the room's colors. Alex studied them carefully. They had been trained to rely on intuition, following strict cultural traditions. Their minds were precise but rigid. "Good morning," Alex said, trying to sound confident. "We're going to play a game today." The aliens tilted their heads. "Game?" one of them asked. Their voice was musical, soft, and curious. Alex smiled. "Yes, a game to learn how to solve problems in new ways. Humans do things differently. We experiment, we improvise, we make mistakes, and we learn from them." The aliens exchanged glances. Their expressions were unreadable, but their curiosity was clear. Alex set up the first exercise, a series of floating shapes in the air, each representing a puzzle. The aliens had to arrange the shapes into patterns that made sense, but there was no single solution. At first, the aliens struggled. They tried following instructions exactly, aligning shapes with precision. Nothing worked. Alex stepped in. "Try something new. Don't worry about being right. See what happens if you experiment." Slowly, the aliens began to move shapes in unexpected ways. They rotated, combined, and separated them. Bright colors emerged, forming beautiful, intricate patterns. The translator orb pulsed with approval, reflecting the success of their creativity. The Queen watched quietly, her expression unreadable. "Humans often teach by allowing mistakes," she said. "It is not a method my people understand, but it works." Alex smiled. "Sometimes mistakes are the best teachers." Next, he introduced thought exercises. He asked the aliens to imagine their world differently. What if rivers flowed in the sky? What if mountains moved slowly like glaciers? What if cities were alive? At first, the aliens resisted. Their minds were trained to see the world in strict ways, but Alex encouraged them gently. "There is no wrong answer, just possibilities. Let your mind explore." Slowly, their expressions changed. Their eyes widened as they imagined new worlds. Shapes twisted and colors flowed, forming strange but beautiful designs. The translator orb captured these patterns, converting them into messages that could be shared with other colonies. Alex realized something important. Humans were naturally flexible thinkers. We could imagine, improvise, and create. And now he was teaching aliens to do the same. Hours passed. The aliens laughed when patterns moved in unexpected ways. They paused to admire designs they had never imagined. Alex guided them patiently, celebrating every small success. By the end of the day, the once rigid group had begun to think in entirely new ways. The Queen approached him. "You have done something remarkable. They have learned human creativity." Alex laughed softly. "It's not me. Humans are adaptable. We see possibilities, that's all." She nodded. "Yes, that is why I invited you here, to show them what humans can do." The next challenge was harder. Alex wanted to teach the aliens how to understand emotions, not just ideas. He projected a message from a distant colony. It showed an alien family experiencing loss and hope at the same time. The aliens looked confused. "We do not understand this," one said. Alex shook his head. "No, you don't yet, but try to imagine it. Imagine the feelings. Imagine the connections. What do the shapes, colors, and movements tell you?" The aliens hesitated. Slowly, they reached out, moving their hands through the holographic images. Colors shifted. Shapes merged. The translator orb pulsed and projected the message in a way that humans could understand. Alex watched, amazed. They were learning empathy, learning to feel across species. "This is incredible," he whispered. "They're really doing it." The Queen smiled. "They are learning not just to think, but to understand. That is the gift humans bring. Your species bridges gaps that no one else can." Alex felt a surge of pride. For the first time, he truly understood the power of human creativity, curiosity, and empathy. They weren't just tools, they were strengths that could change worlds. By the end of the day, the aliens had created a message of their own, a story of life, struggle, and joy from their colony. Alex guided the translator orb as it converted the story into a form humans could understand. The result was beautiful, filled with emotion and imagination. The queen approached him. "You have done more than I expected. You have shown them how to think, how to imagine, how to connect. And now," she paused, her eyes gleaming, "now they are ready for the true test." Alex felt a thrill of anticipation. "A test?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "The next messages will come directly from another species, one they have never met, one whose thoughts are even more complex. You and your students must guide the translator to understand them. Can you do it?" Alex nodded. "We'll try," the queen smiled. "Good. Tomorrow, we cross boundaries no human or alien has crossed before. You will see the real power of human ingenuity." Alex lay back on the soft, glowing platform that night, exhausted but exhilarated. He thought about what had happened that day. He had not just repaired a machine or solved a puzzle. He had taught aliens to see differently, to think differently, to feel differently. And he realized that this was the true meaning of HFY, humanity shining through curiosity, creativity, and empathy. He closed his eyes, feeling the hum of the chamber sync with his heartbeat. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but he felt ready. He had seen what humans could do, and now he would show others across the galaxy what was possible. And as the stars outside the chamber shimmered silently, Alex knew one thing: humanity had a gift unlike any other. The gift of imagination, understanding, and connection. And he was only just beginning to share it.